Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Who's going to be the first to join us today? Hello, Yemi. Good evening. You're the first today to show your name. Oluwatoyin, good evening. Hello, Queen Ojimadu. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Samuel. How are you? Thank you for sharing. I cannot read that Russian name, but thank you anyway. So, guys, let's follow the lead and share immediately. I know you've seen the title already. It's a book review today, and the title is The Veritable Source of Energy. Hello, Pastor Chris. Hello, Chinwe. Good evening, good evening. Thank you and welcome to today's program. Hi, Kaz. Hi, Vivian. Jane, good evening. Good evening and thank you for joining. Please start sharing immediately. Hello, Bafor. How are you? Good evening. Riyomi. Afolabi. Yes. Bafor.
I think it should be Bafu.
Okay, sorry. Bafu. Awa. Bafu. Hello, Mrs. Sharon Care. Good evening. Tiewo. Good evening.
Bafu's kind of sounds so.
Okay. I don't know. Hi, Rind. Good evening. Isaiah, good evening. Thank you all. Please share. I haven't seen any other person share since the first person shared earlier. So can we all share now? We've got a few people on. And don't just share. Also invite your friends. Hi, Patrick. Good evening. Also invite your friends. So tap, tap, tap in invitation. Jane, thank you. Oh, actually, sir, I got it right. It's Bafo. Bafo said I got it right. Iowa.
Are you sure it's the first time you got it right or the last time?
No, I got it right the first time.
Oh, okay.
Doris, good evening. Chioma, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hakan, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining. Please, more people, let's share. Yay! A few people have shared. So let us all share because we have more people here than the people that have shared. Facebook is spying on you, so it's telling me. Thank you all. Okay, so the book title that Dr. Sunday will review with us today is The Veritable Source of Energy. So I repeated, The Veritable Source of Energy. That's the book title. It's a very interesting cover. So I'll wait until I turn the camera so that Dr. Sunday will show you. You'd have a better view of it. And if you want to purchase the book, it's already available on Amazon. So go to Amazon or wherever you are, you will be able to purchase the book immediately. Adebono Jog, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining. So, without further ado, let's start.
Hello, everyone. This is the book here. The name of the book is The Veritable Source of Energy. The Veritable Source of Energy. What could that mean? What could that be talking about? I'm sure none of you can guess. I'm going to test you out and see what do you think this book is talking about. Starting from those ones who are here in my studio and then going to those ones who are over there watching us at home. The veritable source of energy. What could the book be talking about? What do you think about it?
Okay. This is when I wished I checked Google because I knew that this is the title. But veritable, I think it might mean the different source of energy.
Okay.
That's what I can
And about that person has an idea, an opinion.
Very.
You can say she will reply.
Yes, you can say it and I repeat.
Maybe the real source, maybe, because veritable to me, I look like it makes me think of French, because in French the word also exists, and it means the true
source of energy.
Exactly.
Just like verity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're veritable.
Maybe it's not. It's basically showing us what is the actual truth.
So what is the book about? I'm not saying
the true source of energy.
No, you are just talking about the name of the book. I'm saying what is the book about?
Okay.
No, you all are focusing just on the name. Could you guess what is inside the book?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Well, it's maybe about light. It shows us where light and
because you connected to the battery.
Yeah, because it shows us where light actually comes from and what light means.
Okay, Julie's saying maybe it's connected to light and it shows us where light comes from and what it actually means. So the book content will be about light.
But why are you neglecting Carol White? She's in the house now.
Well, she's not speaking.
I don't know if my guesses are much better than anyone else's. I think that one thing that I remember Pastor saying a lot is that everything is about energy. And so I think that he might be in this book exploring the different ways in which we can get this and use this energy in the different areas of our life.
Whoa, Carol Wiseman got it right. Spot on. She's just said that she remembers Dr. Sunday talking about the different types of energy. And this book might be about the different types of energy and how we can use them. So that's what she said in a nutshell. So let's see what it really is. Does anyone else want to share their thoughts? No, I had no.
Everybody took off, eh?
We want to hear.
Wow.
The veritable source of energy.
Oops. Why am I showing my screen?
The veritable source of energy. It's on Google. The book is on Google.
Amazon.
And I don't know, Amazon. And I don't know if anybody is writing anything, what they think the book is about.
Yes. We have Jane here saying that the energy that is converted to useful, tangible products. That's what Jane said. Then we have Chinwe that says, Pastor might be talking about how to discover genuine energy within us. And we also have Jane saying, okay, just put in the title. So those are the two people that respond to the title. Nobody else so far.
Okay. The veritable source of energy. What could it be talking about, this book? What could be inside? Of course, you all got it right because the title mentions and talks about energy. So since it mentions energy, you have an idea that the book is going to be about energy. But what energy are we talking about? This book is actually about the most veritable source of energy, the most reliable of all energy. But before I talk about what the book is talking about, let me show you something else that you did notice in the cover of the book. I don't know if it's visible there. They can read it.
So energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. Albert Einstein.
Yes. That is what is written on top of the book. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. So this book is dealing with the problem and the issue of the complaints we hear all around us, that I don't have energy, I don't have the strength, I don't have energy, I lack energy, I lack the strength, the force, the energy to do what I need to do. I am I'm tired, I am weak, I am this and that. I think all of us are familiar with these complaints and with this form of talk, that we are living in a tired world right now. We are living in a world and in a generation of tired people. We are living in a world where even 10-year-olds now don't have strength. 12 years old, 20 years old young people complain about tiredness. They complain about weariness. I mean, you have 10-year-old, 15-year-old kids that have obesity. You have 10-year-old, 15-year-old that have diabetes, sugar diabetes. There are a lot of young people who are supposed to be in the height of their strength and power and energy that lack the energy. And there is one thing that the present U.S. president said, Donald Trump, and I refer to it in this book, where he says that passion is a source of energy, and if you don't have passion, you don't have life, you don't have energy. So, but passion is just one of the sources of energy that we have. But the truth is that what Einstein says is scientifically proven, that energy is all around us. Energy, the volume of energy is never reduced, and is never reduced on the earth. And energy cannot even be destroyed, it cannot even be reduced. So energy cannot be reduced or created. It cannot be created or destroyed. But it changes from one form to the other. For example, the same person that says, I don't have energy, I am tired, when he begins to go to the gym, this same person who's saying I'm tired, he begins to go to the gym. Let's say he weighs 100 kilograms before, and he began to go to the gym, started converting that energy, that excessive waste energy that he had lost, to fat, to food, to other things. He started converting it now through sports or through correct dieting, and you see that it begins to build muscles. And then all of a sudden he has energy, he even has muscles to be able to do things, and all the fat are gone. What is that? That is simply keying in to one of the sources of energy, which could be dieting or exercising, to convert or regain the lost energy. So energy is some people are losing energy, but while you lose energy, some people are gaining energy, but it's not automatic. So there is enough energy in this world for all of us to perform. There is enough energy to do everything we want to do, not just as individuals, but there is also enough energy for nations to be developed. There is enough energy for industry and industrialization. There is enough energy in the world to provide electricity in the world, to provide power, to provide industry, to generate electricity or solar energy, all kinds of enough energy. God has provided enough energy to provide light, to provide water, to provide agricultural produce, to provide strength for individuals. There is enough energy in nature and on the planet for everybody. But why is it that we all complain? Because we just don't realize that energy is just all around us, and we all could key into some sources of energy. And there is another book that I have that is called Discover the Source of Hidden Energy in You. That is totally different from the veritable source of energy. So, like I said, I have another book that talks about discovering the source of energy in you. And that's another book. And that's not what I'm going to talk about today. But what I'm going to talk about today is totally different. It's about another form of energy, which is the ultimate source of energy. And that's why I said the veritable source of energy. Totally different from the other form of energy that I was referring to. And it is a unique form of energy that I'm going to be talking about in this book. And I'm using this book to introduce it to both Christians and unbelievers as well, and non-Christians, so that this book, people will be able to go, this energy that I'm talking about is beyond the energy that is in nature, that Albert Einstein knows about and is talking about. The energy that I'm talking about is in the fourth dimension. That is, all of us could actually, key into this superior energy and get all the power, the source, the energy, the passion that we need to become all we need to become. Have you ever heard of energy drinks? In America now, it's so funny. Some people get energy chewing gums. Some people get energy drink, Coca-Cola energy drink, Pepsi-Cola energy drink. Some people got all kind of energy drink. Soft drink, energy drink, and those things don't really do any much to you, really. They only add too much sugar to your body, that's all. But real energy is available around us, and we could all be key into that energy. So energy is necessary for all sorts of accomplishments. You cannot wake up even from the bed and go about your daily activities if you don't know how to key into energy. You cannot do much without energy. Man himself is an energy. Everything around us is energy, really. But it could be positive energy or negative energy. But today I'm going to be talking about the fourth dimensional source of energy, which is called the veritable source of energy. The veritable source of energy right here. The veritable source of energy. So what is this energy that I'm talking about? This energy that I'm talking about is an energy that is superior to any other energy, which is the superior energy. And that's why I'm talking about it as the veritable source, because it is the one that comes directly from God. And this energy is called God's presence. If you read any book about energy, nobody will mention this kind of energy. They talk about electricity, they talk about physics, they talk about light, they talk about other things. But many people don't know in the scientific world. And many even Christians don't know how to key into this veritable source of energy, which is the presence of God. There is a message when I was preaching on the series on prayer that I spoke about, where I spoke about practicing the presence of God. And I think I also spoke about it when I was speaking about the kingdom. Do you have an idea about practicing the presence of God?
Nope.
No. You have an idea? Any one of you have an idea of how to how to consciously practice the presence of God? That is an energy right there. We almost learn how to practice the presence of God. And then we must go from practicing the presence of God into deriving energy from it. So it's one thing to practice the presence of God. It's another thing to acknowledge it as a source of energy. And once you acknowledge it as a source of energy, then you could key into that energy. and derive from it this power, the energy, the force that you need for accomplishment. But you can even do more than that. You can also, once you recognize the presence of God as a source of energy, you can use it not just for yourself, for domestic use of just getting energy to wake up in the morning or to go and do your job. But you could actually key into that energy and learn to make products out of that energy. So you don't just use it to energize yourself, to energize your life, to get strength and power to do what you need to do in life. But you could actually learn to derive products, concrete products, creativity, power, and force from this energy. More so, you could use this energy to develop a nation. You could use this energy to build industries. You could use this energy to heal people. You could use the energy, the same energy. You see, some people who are called the miracle workers in the Christianity, they tend to make you feel as if God's presence could only be used to do miracles, to create miracles and wonders and healings, as if God's presence is only good for the supernatural, unexplainable. But the truth is, God's power and God's presence could actually be used for the tangible world as well. That God's presence is a form of energy. And that God's presence could also be used to create tangible products. As a matter of fact, it is this energy of God's presence that was used to create all the visible and invisible things that we know about and that we see all around us today. For example, let's take this building. If you take this building now and blow it off, blow it down, you will get a wreck, right? A wreckage, a bunch of bricks and layers of cement, right? But do you know you could actually put a bomb inside that and actually blow it down so much that the only thing you will see remaining in this place will be a little bit of ashes or sand. But if you take that sand that is left and put it into a machine to, melt it down and roll it down and melt it and just ground it, like you take to the lab, it's going to dissipate. You will not see anything again. The only thing, it could be grounded down to the invisible elements. And you will need the help of some special machine to be able to detect what are those small atoms and the what do you call it? Atoms. What are the before atom? What are the small particles that were?
Molecules?
Molecules, yeah, but smaller than molecules.
Electrons.
Electrons and
protons.
Protons, electrons, yes. So they will be reduced into protons, electrons, molecules, and atoms. Those are the smallest particles that we see. So, like for example, this house that is 2,000 square meter will be blown up, grounded down, melt down, and into energy. So you say, where did it disappear to? A whole city of London could be melted down like that. You will not see a remain. And the only thing you will see is everything is disappeared. It will need science to be able to see particles, molecules. Electrons and things like that. So what happened to the old building? Or what happened to the old city? Even metal, what happened to them? Energy is never created or destroyed. Energy is only converted. So this building you saw standing here, really? It is invisible. It is only an energy. So every visible thing you see is as a result of energy. So what happened when the building is destroyed is that what happens is that it is converted into another energy. But the energy itself from which that building comes up remains. So people are able to see the electrons and the particles and the things, the atoms and things like that. But even if you don't see that, still that energy remains. That is why, and this is the biggest proof to me, that everything comes from God. Because God is the ultimate energy. Or the presence of God is that ultimate energy. That's why human being cannot see it, but it's still there. So that thing, that energy that building that has disappeared, it has disappeared into another form of energy, which we cannot see with our naked eyes, but it's still energy. Just like you cannot see oxygen with your own eyes, even though that is energy too. You cannot see the waves, electronic waves that are right here in our house and all over the world that are powering everything we see. Those are energy as well that we don't see. Even though they are converted into electronic energy, but you don't see them. So those are different energy. So what am I saying? I'm saying that just like this building and the whole city could be destroyed, but the energy is not destroyed. The energy remains. It is an energy that was converted into a building. It is an energy that is converted into structures. It is energy that is converted into a city. It is energy that is converted into industry. It is energy that is converted into companies, factories. And buildings are not buildings. Let's take your car. Do you know that even your car, it's like a metal, right? When you see your car, it's like metal. Do you know that car is also an energy? That car could disappear and melt down into atoms and electrons and molecules that are invisible. Can you believe that? That old car, that old energy, that old power, that old machine, it's nothing. Everything you see, visible thing you see, is all coming from invisible side. So this is that invisible source of energy. This is that veritable source of energy that I'm introducing to you. And that energy is available to us when we contact the very source of energy himself, who is God. And when we're in the presence of God, one of the greatest practices and one of the greatest discoveries a Christian could have is to key in to that energy, to that source of energy. Or what we call learn to practice the presence of Jesus or the presence of God. Practice his presence. I could demonstrate it to you how to do that. And I hope I'll be able to do that before the end of this. And try to teach you how to practice the presence of God. But that is the first step, to acknowledge that there is something called the presence of God. So when people tell me, Pastor Sunday is not preaching about spiritual stuff, because what you are calling spiritual stuff All the things Christians are talking about spiritual stuff, you don't know what to do with it. You are blind. You are not seeing. You are blind. You don't know how to exploit it. You don't know how to use the spiritual. Oh, why is he not talking about spiritual things? Why is he not talking about God? He's talking about mental things. Okay, let's talk about spiritual things. Let's talk. Okay, let's talk. When we begin to talk about spiritual things, what do you understand about it? What do you understand? Because a lot of people go to church and do spiritual stuff. They don't know what that means, or what that is meant for. Many people who go to church, they think that their spiritual exercises ends with whatever they are doing there. That is ignorance, because they don't know what it means to be spiritual, to be in the presence of the Spirit. God is Spirit, and out of Him came everything visible and invisible. So if we are made in His image, and if we know Him, we should be doing the same thing like Him. Making things come from the invisible realm to be visible in the visible realm, in the physical realm. But people who go to church, who say they know God, who say they are interacting with God, they don't even have an idea of what I'm talking about. They don't even know how to practice this. They don't even know how to key to the presence and to this veritable source of energy, the presence of God. They don't know how to bring it down from heaven. Practice it here and make it become an energy for them, and then go beyond that, make it become an energy for other people, not just to bring healing and emotions and goosebumps and crying and tears out of your eyes. For a lot of Christians, that is where all the spiritual activities stop in. I think it was Julie or so I was talking with the other day, and she said one person told her that the person used to like my old messages when I was growing, when I was still growing in the school of discovery. When I was still young like them, when I was at their level, they liked me when I was at their level. Or when I was closer to their level. But when I took off, they lost interest. They said, you cannot understand him anymore. We don't even understand what's going on anymore. Because they remain on that level, okay? So, so this guy said, I like to listen to Pastor Sunday's old messages. The old messages are so great. You can feel the anointing. So their whole life is about feeling the anointing. But God has helped me. And that's why I'm trying to help everybody else to go from feeling the anointing into converting the anointing. To go from feeling the anointing into making the anointing profitable and beneficial, not just to yourself, but to your world as well. Into using the anointing, not just to benefit the church, but use the anointing to benefit your nation, your industry, your sphere of life, and the world at large. But of course, it has to start by acknowledging and knowing this veritable source of energy that we are talking about. So the way I'm looking at you, by the way, is like, I'm not even going to talk about my audience right now. I'm going to talk about this audience that I'm seeing in front of me right here. It's like, I'm speaking Japanese, or you are a little bit lost. Oh yeah, it's called you are a little bit lost. You are a little bit lost. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Then we can find out from our colleagues how they are feeling. But start with yourself if you don't mind. Or your girlfriends who are hanging around you here.
Hello guys, I was just looking at Dr. Sunday and he's just so convinced by what he's saying. And to me, this is just all new information that I've
you are
never...
not convinced.
No, I'm just thinking, what's he talking about? What's he talking about? But, at some point it's just making sense. And while looking at him, I'm trying to imagine all these things as well. And imagine how God created the world in Genesis, that there was nothing. And it must be from an energy. But I started to also remember the question time that we had and how we explained this energy the difference between good and bad energy, and how energies are, and also related to what he's saying now. So I'm kind of putting the puzzles together. So that's why I'm looking at him in such a funny way. And then the one thing that also puzzled me is in the quote that says that energy cannot be created. That confused me a little bit. Yes, I can agree that it cannot be destroyed, but to say that it cannot be created was a little bit challenging. So I was just trying to make sense of it. So I don't know if anyone else has any point that they want to make, but that's where I'm coming from with the energy story.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I'm Julie. Yes. I was trying to understand where he was going with all of this, because like Maiwa, I tried to picture what he said, and usually if I don't understand something, I'm just gonna accept that I don't understand it, and just gonna go for what is there. But I'm just trying to listen further, because I can't picture this yet. I can't grasp the depth of what he's saying, because to me energy, I compare it to something that's just invisible, something I don't see. So when he talks about the house not actually being here, it doesn't really make sense to me. So I just hope that it will clear up the more we hear what he's about to say. Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else? So Carol is here. Hi guys. So I would say that I love what Pastor is saying, mostly because this is like the weird part of my mind too, that I really like to discuss these kinds of things, because I've always had this sneaking suspicion that all the laws that we are discovering in science or in relationships or whatever, all of the laws are really just for us to discover who God is. And I think that what Pastor is revealing to us is that God, just like he explains with his last book about work, and how work reveals to us who we are. Everything around us, everything that we live in, everything that we are, is God's work, and it's supposed to reveal to us who he is. So when he's talking about energy not being able to be created or destroyed, to me, that's just telling me that this is God. When he's talking about energy, he's talking about God. He's talking about, there's a scripture that says, in him we live and breathe and have our being. And there's, I always thought it was strange, at least to me anyway, that the atom is triune in nature. Neutron, proton, electron. And God is triune in nature. And I said, there's something here. There's some kind of connection here. I think that's what Pastor is really explaining to us, that this world that we think is compartmentalized, this is science, this is math, this is English, this is art. It's all the same. It's all like, you even look at the way that colors, primary colors, why is it 3? Why is this triune nature, the family unit, 3? Some of the best governments in the world are 3. Judicial, executive. Like, it's just these things, these principles that work, that have proven themselves throughout time, they tend to almost mimic one another, which to me just reveals to you how God has actually infused himself into every part of this world and everything that we understand and what we don't understand. I think Pastor's really giving you a glimpse into this higher echelon of thinking that is way beyond, just thinking, oh, I go to church and I'm a Christian, or I'm a scientist, or I believe in science, or, there's this other level, I think, that is even hard to explain to regular people. Okay, someone is writing quantum physics. That's another thing that is a whole nother story. I mean, if you think about quantum physics, then you are actually getting into the realm of like, okay, so this whole understanding of Earth is actually completely different. I mean, I can't even go into it because I know I'll just confuse you. But I think what Pastor is really getting at, if you can follow it, if you can really go and dig deep into it, you'll have such a broader understanding of who God is, and I think that, that's what I got from it. I'm really happy that he's talking about something that, I like to explore as well. So.
Yes, let me just read some of your comments. Paul is saying energy is all around us. Janie is also saying that energy that cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be converted to different forms. That's the quote from Dr. Sun from the book by Einstein. There is enough energy for all of us in the universe to use. Thank you. And then we have Samuel saying that this is deep, sir. Rindy saying, Samuel again saying, never heard of this before. Kota says, saying hello to you. Then we have Jane saying, God's presence is a form of energy that can be converted into tangible products. Thank you, Jane. And then we have Uriyomi saying that faith in the word of God and creates an atmosphere for miracle. Practice positive thinking consistently. Then we have Joseph says, so how old is the world? Then he went on to say, I believe in God, but the world is not 6,000 years old. Then Joseph is saying, is God in heaven or somewhere else? Hello, Joseph. We're doing a book review today, and the book is The Veritable Source of Energy. So all these questions you're asking, you might want to go on Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel, which is Sunday Adelaja Official, or if you prefer the website, which is sundayadelajablog.com. You might find some answers there. But welcome and thank you for joining us. So stay tuned and stay with us. We're on again after this program. This program started at 7 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 5 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. And later on, we're on for another program at 9 p.m. Ukraine time, which will be 7 p.m. Nigeria and UK time. So join us again for the next program. Let me read some more of your comments. Isaiah, I think, is saying preach to you, Caroline. Stanley says DNA. Oh, sorry, I think he's meant to say DSA. Good evening. Okay. So Henry is asking that what is energy? I think Dr. Sunday is explaining some of this, and he has explained. So you also need to go, Henry, on go to the YouTube channel and check out some of the question time. I'm sure there's some question time. So in the playlist where it says question time, check it out. It's Sunday Adelaja Official. Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube. I can't wait for this book review. Which book review? We are actually working on it right now. The Veritable Source of Energy. So we're reviewing it right now, so you can watch it over and over again.
Go and get it. That's what he's trying to say.
I can't wait for this book review.
Yeah,
okay, it's available. Okay. Yes, Dr. Sunday is just clarifying that to me. Yes, this book is available on Amazon. You can pre-order now, so go on Amazon and check it out straight away. Dupe says, I have, but when I tried to go deep, I was afraid because the person I was listening to then went into yoga, so I stopped. Okay. William says, I strongly believe that there's an energy that comes within me because anything I set my mind on is doable as my mind controls my body. Okay. So that's all the comments so far. So I'm going to turn the camera back to Dr. Sunday so you can continue with the review.
Yes, so there are many things we could talk about this. Let me just give you some of the ideas that we are going to be addressing in this book that you are going to meet in this book. Let me show you the book again. The Veritable Source of Energy. I think to a lot of religious people, I'm like a mystery man. They are used to God as tradition and as religion. But we must look at God as a person, as a dynamic person, as an entity that is alive, that is with us right now, as a father who is alive, who is with us, who loves us, who we relate with, as a dynamic presence, as a dynamic person that is with us, that is living in us and with us all the time, that is talking to us. For me, God is just very alive every minute in me and around me, and you know, I see him. I mean, I'm in him every minute. But when you begin to classify God, I just put him into religious practices, and that's God. Like church, that's God, where you meet God. Or prayers, that's where you meet God. Or read the Bible. And you put God in departments like that. So I can only meet God when I read the Bible. I used to think like that too, because that's the kind of thing you are taught. Like when I read the Bible, I know I can meet with God. When I do my prayers, I know I can meet with God. When I go to church, I can meet with God. For most people, that's it. But really, when you discover God, you discover that those are just, those things are good too, prayers, Bible, church, but they are for babies who think like, to be thinking like that. You don't put God in that kind of department and compartment and limit God into some of your own definition of your mind. But God, first of all, is an energy. God is a presence. We call it the presence of God. So, how do you, I promise you that, okay, maybe before I do that, I will tell you some of the things I will be talking about in this book. But I wanted to tell you how to practice God's presence. Well, like I said, before I do that, let me tell you some of the things you will discover in this book. Some of the things you will discover in this book is you will discover energy as the force of all accomplishments. Number two, you will discover in this book why man's energy is limited. What limits your own energy? Why are you incapacitated? What brings about the depletion of energy in your life? Where does it go to? Even though energy cannot be destroyed. Cannot be created. You say you had a question about that it cannot be created. Why can it even be created? People are creating electricity, but they are creating it from the energy, the amount of energy, the volume of energy that is already on the earth. It doesn't reduce. The volume of energy that is already around us, that we are living in, is not reduced and it's not created. It's only converted. Like I said, this house, for example, could be pulled down, but the energy didn't go anywhere and it was not destroyed. But when I built the energy, when I built the house again, I did not create energy. I converted energy. If you are feeling weak and tired or sick, they give you medicine, right? And you get well and you become strong. The energy was not created. The energy was converted through the medicine to your strength. It was not created. Or when you are lean and very lean, and you needed to put on some weight and some weight, and you begin to eat or begin to go to the gym, and you put on 20 kilograms away, you look better. The energy was not created. It was transformed from the eating, from the food. It was converted from the food to your body, to your own energy, to your weight. The same thing when you lose weight, when you have 20 kilograms of weight to lose, and you lose weight, that energy was not destroyed. It was converted into sports that removed that other energy. Or it was converted into hunger, and hunger converted that extra weight into another form of energy. So you don't create energy, and you don't destroy energy. You get it? It's better now. It's a bit clearer. Okay. I guess that's why I'm a preacher. To be able to make complex things easier to comprehend. But it's making your head to really think, Mayowa, what was going on?
It almost makes it makes sense that we can create anything, because if the source of energy is already here, then there's nothing that we cannot.
Aha. You getting it? That we cannot?
We cannot create. We cannot produce and make tangible.
Okay.
Just by knowing the formula.
The formula.
To change
and the process.
Yeah.
You are getting it better now, right? What were you saying? It's like you two are knocking. I mean, nodding. It's like you are getting something too.
Yeah. I was thinking about food. So when you eat,
yes.
and you have an apple in your hand,
yes.
you eat it and it disappears.
Yes.
So you
converted the energy.
Exactly. You convert the energy into
of that apple.
Exactly. Of that apple
into your own,
exactly.
Your own body.
So you get
strength.
energy.
You convert
from
it
that.
to strength.
Yes. You convert it into strength and into vitamins, into everything that your body needs.
Yes.
So it makes sense now that you have explained it this way.
What about when you lose weight? What happens?
Yeah, you have, like you said, you have changed the
form of energy.
Exactly, the form of energy into activities, into movement, the air that came out. Yeah.
So okay, what happens when you lose weight? Is it possible for somebody who was weighing 100 kilograms to now be weighing 60 kilograms?
Yes.
Yeah.
So or maybe it was weighing 100 kilograms and is now weighing 80 kilograms?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
For a human being?
Yeah.
The same person?
Yeah.
So where did that go? Where did the 20 kilogram difference or 40 kilogram difference go?
It was converted to something else.
Yeah.
So muscles, for example, where
it's auto energy.
Yeah, to sweat as well. Like the air also that comes out. Okay. Wow.
Okay, so no, don't go away.
Okay.
So will you now use that same principle or apply that same principle to a building if that is destroyed and converted into nutrients, electrons and particles and things like that?
Yes, it can be converted because it was converted from one source of energy, invisible to what it was or what it is before it got destroyed. So every time any changes happen, it was just a process of change in energy. So yes, that could also happen. And that happening, it is another process of another type of energy. So it means now I'm seeing that there are many types of energy, not just one. And it depends on the process that happens. The process turns it into a type of energy.
Amazing.
So I have a question in regards to this, just so my understanding is correct. So for example, if a house is burned down and there is smoke that comes out of it, so this smoke goes up in the air, and
even that smoke itself and the fire is energy.
It's energy. Okay.
But don't you call fire energy?
Yeah.
You call it light, energy.
Yeah.
If you want light, that is fire.
Yeah.
You put fire on, that is energy. So the building became what?
Fire, like energy.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
And it becomes invisible.
Yeah.
When it burns down, the fire is no more there, but the house is also no more there. What happened? Became invisible energy.
Yeah. Okay. So I got it.
Yeah, I was thinking about 9/11 and what happened, the rubbles and how everything was happening. So we're just converting into different types of energy.
Like ashes.
Yes, and rubbles and, until, yeah.
Until nothing was there.
Yeah. I just feel like I didn't know anything at all. Oh my God.
It's very interesting. It makes God look very, very smart. Like even smarter than you. Like
because the problem with you people who are Christians, who call yourselves Christians and go to church.
You people.
You people who call yourselves Christians and go to church, that they don't let you understand God.
Yeah.
There is no understanding in religion. Yeah. Religion is not interested that you understand God. Religion just wants you to be dull and a mummy and just be going and saying, obeying what the pastor said. But the Bible actually says that, we should add to our faith knowledge. But they are not interested in giving us knowledge. They just want you to just obey and that's why it becomes a cult.
Law. I actually feel more powerful, having this understanding that there's nothing that I cannot create. If I understand the process, I understand the type of energy, then there's nothing impossible to create. Even things that have never been created before, if only I can understand the energy or maybe research the type of energy that I need to create that thing, and it can happen. That anything is possible for humanity.
And you know that the resources are available. So you don't have to look for them. This is like the conviction.
But that is the problem of religious people too. They are praying to God as if energy is not available. As if resources is not available. Religion teaches you that you don't have anything. That you are empty, that you are poor, that you are nothing, that you don't have anything. Whereas God has already provided all the energy that is needed. It cannot be added to, it cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed. You already have all the resources from God. That is why unbelievers will be successful. That is why unbelievers who don't become religious to be waiting on God to send energy, they just use the energy that God has already created. They discover that God has already created that energy and use it to do whatever they want to do, to create whatever they need. Instead of us to do the same thing, we are calling on God and we are waiting on God and thinking, we are actually slapping God in the face, because that way we are telling God that He didn't give us anything, He sent us here to be here by ourselves, and we have to be begging Him all the time and running to Him for every little thing. That's exactly what we are telling God. We are being ungrateful. No, go back to yourself. You are being ungrateful. So, I don't know what you say to that, because that's what religion does to you.
Yeah. I think He also made us very lazy and give us low self-esteem of who we are, and actually to understand the Creator, the God that created us. It gives us a false image of the Creator, of our identity. But this is actually giving me a different look or different idea of who we are as humans. That we could actually convert ourselves to something else as well, because if we're one source
now
of energy,
you understand every time I say that you have to create yourself. That the greatest thing you could do is to create yourself into what God's perfect image about yourself. Create yourself not the way you see yourself now, but into what you need to be. And you have the raw material. The energy is there.
Hello, everyone.
Let's see who came to join us.
The fact
Queen Nkiru came to join us. She has been ostracizing herself over there.
No, I was writing something. The thing is that even we Christians, when we hear the word energy, we feel like running away. We feel like
negative energy.
We feel like it is not God. We feel like it's mystical. Because I remember when I used to visit one of my friends, and I would see some books on all these kind of topics. I'm like, be careful, this thing is bringing the demons to your house.
There are some like that.
So I was afraid to even listen to this kind of messages before. But when you understand that the source of everything, which we know, but we never put that word energy, source of everything is God. But when it comes to energy, I know that most people that watch this movie, that will watch this video, we say Dr. Sunday is at it again, saying that energy. Now, his energy he's preaching, not Christ. But Christ is energy. Is this when the Bible says it's in Him we live, move, and have our being? What do you think that means? What do you use to move? What do you use to have your being? It's the energy that He has given you. So this is a deep thing, and I thank God that He came on, and we all have to, religiosity has eaten all of us out, Even there are some messages that I will hear Dr. Sunday bring up. I'm like, oh my God, is it not here saying? Even me, I say it before I analyze now and think with logic, not just logic, common sense, with the brain God has given you. And that is why I hate when someone says where is it written in the Bible? Yes, we follow the Bible, but there are some things, just like he said, that to whatever, add knowledge.
Yes, to your faith.
To your faith, add knowledge. So, what does knowledge mean? And some will still misquote it that knowledge is still the word in the Bible. But just like it's been going on from this platform, that to become a doctor, what do you read? Is it the Bible that you read? Is it not knowledge?
Yeah.
So, to become an engineer, which book do you read?
Bible.
If you quote John 16 to John 3:16,
you change it from the university.
Yeah, the person might give his life to God, but that will not be, make you pass
not
the
become
exam.
an engineer.
Yeah, you won't become an engineer. So we have to open up our minds. I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook today on belief, like if something is 3,000, if a lie is 3,000 years old, that doesn't make it the truth. You understand? Yeah. So let's just open up our minds and get some knowledge. Okay, we all need it to even counsel people, to minister that gospel. We need knowledge. Okay, I had an example of one girl that we used to minister to. He needed my husband's knowledge of what we say is not religious to get this girl convinced. If I went to minister to her, I don't know what he was talking about. I wouldn't have had the power, to break, her mind, to really put it in her head to understand what I'm talking. So without knowledge, you can't really minister the Bible well. So all of us have to get knowledge for us to come to that person's level. When you explain to a physicist that matter is this, matter is not that, he will get you better than just quoting John 3:16 to him. He will not understand you. So we all need the knowledge. We need the energy.
Before you go, girls, since I'm talking about energy coming from the building, and I spoke also about energy from the weight loss, and energy, and I asked you the question and you passed it, what does the weight loss go to? And all that, and the building that is destroyed, the fire, when the building catches fire and things like that. When you have been talking, I've been looking at you, at the three of you, and I've just been thinking, my God, these beautiful girls, and you people look so good, and that's thanks to an energy.
Yes.
It is energy that made you to be who you are right now. It is the energy of God that is in you. But one day, I'm sorry, I'm going to say something that is going to
you guys.
I'm going to talk about something that people don't like to talk about, normal people. But I'm not a normal person, so I like to talk about it. But one day, these beautiful creatures of God, these beautiful girls that I'm seeing, one day that energy is going to leave your body. One day, you are going to be looking at each one of you lying down in a bed or in a casket somewhere.
Yes.
And there will not be energy to move around. Now, you tell me, is that death, or is the same thing as the energy that has been converted in the building to fire when it catches fire, or in the building of the 9/11 that is destroyed, and it became, it just disappeared. It becomes electrons and atoms and things that we don't see it anymore. So a human being, when you go, people say you died. What does that tell you about? Is that death? Do you believe in death? After what I've explained to you.
It's converted.
Of course. Energy, the amount of energy remains. Since that you can only be transferred into another form or converted to another form. So when they tell you that you are dead, never you believe it.
But I have a question. If, for example, I don't believe in God, I don't believe that He is, and I am dead, what am I converted to? Still to energy? No. Am I still alive?
Yes, you are still alive.
Yeah.
You are converted back to you, but a more perfect you. It's just like saying, if you take a grain of corn, a grain of maize, we call it now sometimes, a grain of corn, or a seed of apple, and you sow it, it's dead. When you put it in the ground, it dies on the soil. Bury it or plant it, as we say. But when it dies, it comes from in a better quality, in a better energy. Because that little seed of apple, as little as this, becomes a bigger energy of the tree. And that tree gives birth to fruits that now has thousands of those seeds inside all of them. Same with a corn, a grain of corn. Same with human being. Energy is never lost. It's never destroyed. It's only converted or changed into forms. So even if you are not a believer, it doesn't matter, believer or no believer, you are still converted into another one of yourself, a better one. But in the case of humans, it's a better energy that is immortal, that will not die. Just like the trees never die too. The corn never dies, keeps on growing, it keeps on multiplying. The same thing with converse, that's the same with human being. So even when you are not a believer and you go to hell, you still not die.
That's true.
That energy never dies.
That's what I go. Yeah. You see that you die, you never die, you're still alive. For those of you.
Yeah, but it converts to whatever.
Yeah, something
you
still alive.
convert to yourself.
Yeah.
But more perfect yourself. Well, then you go to either hell or heaven.
That is why they say it's so real. Okay.
Heaven is real. Well, so you said you're going to show us how to teach us how to practice the energy presence.
The presence of God.
Yes.
Or which I call the veritable source of energy.
Yes.
Yeah. You can sit, or maybe you want to stand, but see how you are comfortable. Yes. So, to practice the presence of God, or the veritable source of energy, is easy. It's just to discover that I have my body that I'm seeing right now, which is one part of me, but this is not all part of me. Apart from my body, I also have my mind, which is thinking right now, which you are using to get this information from me. But that is not all that is to you. Your mind, which is your soul, emotions, and that's not just you are not just your soul, your mind, or your body, but you still have your spirit. And your spirit has access to the Spirit of God at all times, because you are spirit. So practicing the presence of God is about setting your spirit free from the power and dominion of your body, from the power and dominion of your soul, into giving liberty to that spirit and sensing as your spirit reaches out to fellowship with the Spirit of God. Because nobody else knows the Spirit of God apart from the spirit of the man that is in him. So let your spirit, let's just feel it as you are reaching out in your heart and with your mind and with your heart to reach out to the Spirit of God. What you will discover is that you begin to sense sensation. Your soul begin to react. You begin to sense. For example, you could also connect. For you to be able to connect more to the presence of God, you could remember some of his words that he has said. For example, one of his promises of God says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Why don't you relax right now and imagine him never leaving you nor forsaking you? So let him, just imagine that he's here right now with you, as like a father telling his little child, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Reach out to him right now. Imagine in your spirit eye, in your spirit self, that he is right here with you. Just imagine, you are not seeing any particular human being, but you know by assurance, through your spirit assurance, that he is here. And you can reach out to him. You could bow down at his feet. You could imagine yourself even in heaven, in his presence, at his feet in heaven, right now. See yourself as a little child sitting on his lap if you want. Or see him holding you by the hand. Like he said, I hold you by your right hand. Just hold him. Or, hug him. And when you are doing that, relax your body, submit your body, submit your soul. Just relax. And let the presence of God, let that awareness of God overwhelm you. And it will be having some feelings on your body. Your body might be shaking, or your body might be feeling the goosebumps. Your body might be feeling, the presence of God. Your body might be feeling, shaking or laughing or crying, but there will be some reactions. You will be feeling it, that he's here. I'm touching him. So you could imagine anything and see God and hug him and touch him. And you can, never forget that he is ever with you. Just like you will look at your side and see your shadow, because anywhere you are, there is a shadow following you. Anywhere there is light, there is shadow there as well. You might not see it all the time, but if you look carefully, it's there. That's the same thing with God. It's like that shadow that is with you. Reach out to him, touch him, speak some words of love to him, communicate to him, communicate with him. Reach out to him, tell him how much you love him. Put your head on his shoulder, hug your father, or let him hug you, or just imagine him behind you, because I will be in front of you or beside you, because he said, in that day you will know that you are in me and I am in you. That's why you will never fear Satan anymore when you know this, because you know you are in him and you see yourself in him for real, and you see that you are buried in him. He has enveloped you in himself. You are in him. That's why no evil can ever frighten you again, because for them to get to you, they have got to penetrate through him. He said you are in him. That's why Satan doesn't count anymore for us, if we know who we really are in God. But that is only the first level of acknowledging and practicing the presence of God. Another level is converting that presence into product. That I cannot talk about today. And that is already in some of my teachings. I have a series on YouTube that is called How to Convert Invisible Energy into Concrete Products. So go for it.
Wow, thank you. Wow. Guys, that is so practical.
I want all of you to now come back and tell me if you got anything, or you felt it, or you could imagine what were, or it was just theory. Was it just theory, or it was practical?
I think it was practical for me. I feel empowered now, and also I always felt like there's special people that can have a relationship with God in such a way that they can communicate with him. Yes, that they can communicate with him. And now you've given me a practical example or a method, a process, how I can also attain that.
Every minute.
Yes,
every
because
day.
I talk to God. I talk, but I don't hear him talking back to me, or being there in my presence. No, I don't often do that. Even in church, it doesn't matter. But this it's almost like at Q, whenever I want, I can actually access God. I don't have to wait for service. I don't have to wait for special moments. I don't, or Bible reading, or going into the scriptures, or trying to pray and So I don't have to do that. I can access him at Q, and I know the steps to do that now. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with what Maya was said. I also feel like I'm used to praying to God by kneeling down in front of my bed and folding my hands, closing my eyes.
You must be from a Christian family.
Yes.
Religion.
Very much.
Welcome to religion.
Yeah, for me,
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
exactly. That's not all. But I would feel like I have to go into my room, kneel down, and do these practices.
Wow.
for me to actually be at peace and know, okay, I have prayed today, instead of really noticing God everywhere I am, noticing Him no matter where I go, you know, that He's with me,
Practicing
and then
His presence.
exactly practicing His presence and making use of those moments. Even like there are moments even where I felt.
While
Yeah.
you're driving.
Yeah, and there can be moments where you feel like, wow, now I just want to pray. I just want to be with God. And you do just what Pastor has demonstrated to us right now.
And you don't need to close your eyes.
Exactly. You don't need to kneel down, get out of the car, and, you know, kneel down in front of it or something. But you just sit and you are where you are and you acknowledge His presence and immerse yourself in it. And I find this so beautiful because it makes God so much more tangible, so much more real, and like really He's there and part of my life. So I
every second.
yeah, every second.
minute.
I mean, imagine that. You don't have to go to a place, you don't have to say something special, you don't have to look a certain way, or, you know, you have the opportunity to fellowship with God every day, every time. How beautiful is that? So, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard this from Dr. Sunday before, practicing the presence of the Lord, especially, most probably from his teachings, not most probably, but sure from his teachings. And, you know, before then, I used to accuse myself, you know, like, when,
I didn't pray today.
Yeah, I did not pray in the morning, I didn't do my devotion, and now I'm out, you know, serve this. You know, we believe that if you didn't say all those prayers, 15 minutes, some people is 5 hours, you know, just speaking in tongues without getting anything out of it. But, so, it doesn't matter how you do it, but if you know that the Lord is omnipresent, what does the word omnipresent mean? It means that He is everywhere at the same time. So you can pray to Him wherever you are. And I have learned that, so I don't put myself in the box that, oh, I didn't do
But
the
again, this is not prayer. This is practicing the presence of God. It goes beyond prayer.
It goes
Because
beyond
if
prayer.
you use the word prayer again,
You're
again
boxing
putting
Him
people in the
again.
box again.
Okay. Practicing the presence of the Lord, you can do it anywhere. And I have noticed it, you know, I started using this. I don't have to wait for a particular time or wait for a particular environment or wait for something else for me to acknowledge His presence in my life. I just know that He is anywhere.
Fellowship with Him. That is what they call relationship with God.
Yeah,
Fellowship with God.
it should be a 24/7 thing. It shouldn't be just, okay, when I was praying in the morning. Yes, you pray in the morning, but it goes beyond that. You should know that His presence is with you all the time. And that is what I do. Even if I prayed in the morning, I didn't pray in the morning, I practice His presence all the time. And I feel His presence. Okay?
Yeah, I also want to say that now the scripture that Paul gave, and when he said pray without season, makes so much more sense now, because who's able to pray without ceasing every day 24/7? You can't do that, because we have the wrong understanding of, you know, fellowshipping with
Praying,
God and praying. Because prayer really is that fellowship with God.
yeah.
It's not, you know, doing a specific activity. It's having that relationship with God. So if you know that He's with you all the time, and you can access that energy, you can access that relationship with Him at any moment, you know, then that scripture actually makes sense and can be also practiced. And it's not something that, you know, we have to do by going to church or getting a special anointing or something like that. So this is practical Christianity for me.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter the position or the place or the way that you do it, but He is everywhere, so you can practice in His presence anywhere that you are.
Yeah.
Where you are.
Okay, let me read some comments now. We have Martins that says, "Right on, Pastor." Pat is saying, "You're a great man of God." William is saying, "This is a very unique topic because without energy, nothing can be done." Then we have Pastor.
Well, before you, let me remind the people again the book we are talking about. So we are talking about this book, The Veritable Source of Energy. That is the book we are talking about. Okay, so read the comment now.
Okay. So Dr. Sunday have just shown you the cover of the Veritable Source of Energy. It's available on Amazon. You can pre-order right now, so go to Amazon. Somebody said that make sure it's available on Okada. We will make sure that of that. So thank you for reminding us. Pastor Edwin says, thank God for your uncommon wisdom. I celebrate you, sir. Vivian says, can be converted into tangible results. It's energy. Oriyomi says, wow. Chinwe says, DSA, you're just a mystery messenger. William says, energy is the ability to do work. Without energy, nothing can be done. Oriyomi says, my head is hurting me. I was feeling like that, Oriyomi, so you're in good company. But, you know, you can go back and watch this over and over again. It's absolutely worth it. Vivian says, God is smart and awesome. Then we have Charles that says, E equals MC squared. Thank you, Charles. Charles, I've left a message on your messenger. Please get in touch. Olusegun says, it's called conversion of energy, which can be in different form. We have chemical, mechanical, electrical, light, sound, etc. energy. They can be converted from one form to another. Thank you very much, Olusegun. Then we have Pastor Edwin's again saying, wow, I need to watch this again. Absolutely. I think I feel the same way too. Joseph says, why are there wicked people? Joseph, definitely the best thing for you is to go on Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel, Sunday Adelaja Official. There are playlist after playlist of titles that will help you with some of the questions that you're asking today. I know you're new and I welcome you to the team, to the family. So please don't run away, you know. Go to those playlists and see for yourself. You will find answers to a lot of the questions that you're asking today. Today we're working on, the program is a book review, which is the Veritable Source of Energy. That's what we're reviewing. So it seems a little bit off topic to discuss some of the questions that you're asking, but please feel free to go on Sunday Adelaja Official. That's on YouTube, and also his website is sundayadelajablog.com. You will find answers, I promise you, okay? Dupe Love say, it's true, ma. Then we have Russia White saying, extremely interesting. I will go back and watch. Absolutely, Russia. I think a number of us would do that. Ronke is saying that God is our strength. Bracket, energy, my everything. Joseph is asking more questions. Dupe Love says, we are, I think is worried or wary. I'm not sure. Then we have Olusegun says, Christ is the greatest energy on earth. The Bible calls him the power and the wisdom of God. 1 Corinthians 1:14. Energy is power. Power is energy. Thank you, Olusegun, again. D says, good evening to everyone. Then we have more greetings from other people. Dupe says, we are writing our own Bibles to that act of Dupe. Someone else is reading our lives. Okay. Then we have Joseph asking, where does God get the energy from? Then we have Reverend Roslyn that says, thank you, Lord, for renewal of strength. Thank you. Then we have Williams that says, when God created light, he said, let there be light. Just by pronouncing it, and his words created light, which is a source of energy. Most energy are derived from light. Without light, plants cannot produce. We must understand that we derive our energy from food. One can see that the primary source of our energy. Then we have Justin is clapping. Reverend Roslyn is saying the soul moves on to the next level of God. Joseph is asking more questions. Then we have Yinka that says, this is so deep. It is not for miracle seekers, Christians of today. This is what Paul said. This is what Paul called hard meat. Thank you, sir, for sharing this unearthly wisdom with us. Thank you. Then we have Vivian that's saying welcome to and hello to Candy. Candy, we all say hello to you. Theophilus says DSA, oh, you scatter my head. Oh. Then we have Charles that's saying The 3 most beautiful girls, energy converters. Thank you very much. Then we have Reverend Roslyn again saying that we live on, but to the perfect form of God's holiness. Thank you very much. Then we have Justin not Justin, excuse me. Justin Manuel says, it's so simple now. DSA, so easy to connect the dots. DSA, you're such a great mentor. Thank you very much for that, Justin. Then we have Oluwatope. Okay. Hello, Oluwatope. Then we also have Reverend Roslyn that's saying, DSA, I can feel you now and his Lord in you. Lord, help me to be your embodiment to humanity. Thank you, Jesus. I feel him, I sense him, I know him, hear him, and I see him. God bless you. Vivian is clapping, and wow. Justine again is clapping. Omonike, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Dupe says, I just want Pastor to carry on. It is so refreshing. Absolutely. I think we all want that. Vivian is saying, that's right, Maiwa. Thank you very much, Vivian. Good evening to everyone. Monica is saying, Reverend Roslyn says, this is heaven. We are all spirits, and God always wants to fellowship with us, but we are too busy. Then we have William saying, that is where our personal relationship with God comes to play. Is accessible anytime. Absolutely. Reverend Roslyn again is saying, DSA, you are loved. Tears of joy on my cheeks. Thank you very much, Reverend Roslyn. Reverend Roslyn says, bring heaven down to earth in worship and thanksgiving, acknowledging him for his awesomeness. Thank you very much, everyone. You've all been so great this evening. We're coming back in just over 30 minutes, about 32 minutes. So please join us again. Dr. Sunday will be talking about truth again, the 5 levels of truth. This will be number 4. Hopefully you'll be able to do number 4 and 5 so that we can have the complete 5 levels. It's been a great last 2 days on this topic on truth or levels of truth. I've surely discovered something about myself. So please don't miss it. Come back in 34 minutes, I think, or 32 minutes. So we'll see you again soon. Okay? Take care of yourself. Bye.